Our whole goal for Team Depot is to serve our veterans and serve our communities and make a difference in their lives.
The Home Depot is the world's largest home improvement specialty retailer with more than 2,200 stores in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Joining me now here at Home Depot store number 121 in Atlanta is Eric Schelling, the Director of Talent Acquisition for the Home Depot. Eric is responsible for all recruitment strategies for Home Depot in the United States. Eric, thank you so much for joining us here on Hiring America.
Thank you for having me.
I know you've recently hired a tremendous amount of veterans this past year. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, yes. So we actually made a commitment to the White House 2 years ago that we would hire 55,000 veterans over the course of 5 years. So we're averaging around 10,000 veteran hires a year. In fiscal 2013, we hired almost 19,000 veterans, and then last year, fiscal 2014, we hired almost 20,000 veterans. So as we go into this year, we know that we'll make that commitment in 3 years versus 5.
How do you go about hiring 20,000 vets in a year?
That's a great point. Well, we hire in our main hiring seasons this spring. So we hire around 80,000 people in about an 8 to 12 week time frame, depending on the weather. But then throughout the course of the year as well, we have over 2,000 stores. And so our hiring for veterans continues every month of the year.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the skill sets that you're looking for. You actually have a skill translator on your website. What is it? Tell me about it.
So we decided to launch the military skills translator on our careers website. So a veteran can actually go and look, and they can put in their MOS, they can put in their title, and it'll translate what are the civilian skills that they have relative to the job that they have in the military. And then what the translator will do, it will serve up what jobs that the Home Depot has that are vacant right now for them to apply to.
Tell me a little bit about the interview process. An interview process can oftentimes be very scary, especially when you don't spend a lot of time doing it.
So 2 years ago, we actually launched something called Mission Transition. And what we wanted to do was help veterans figure out what are the tips and tricks. So job search strategies, resume techniques, social media, all of those types of things. And so we did workshops around the country. We had 100 workshops, and we had almost 5,000 veterans who came to those workshops.
What are some of the skill sets that veterans have that make them a little bit different than some of your other employees?
I would say teamwork is number one. Their leadership. We're a solution sales environment. When people come into a Home Depot store, it's not necessarily just to get that one item. They don't know how to do something. They need a solution. How do I do this? How do I do that? And veterans and servicemen and women are big about creating a solution. And so from that perspective, they marry very, very well with the Home Depot culture.
I want to talk a little bit about military spouses. They're a priority for you here at the Home Depot.
Yeah,
Tell me why.
Well, primarily because if you think about how many military servicemen and women come to work for us, quite a few of them are actually active, and their spouse is not. So here they are going across the country, right? Following them wherever they go. So we have a scholarship that we have for military spouses so they can continue to go back to school. It's $10,000, and it's a survey. We want them to describe something to us around their experience of being a military spouse. And so we have a competition around it. We go to a big gala dinner that we do with them. We also post those jobs specifically on military spouse-friendly websites for them to apply to those positions, and we help them transition to a Home Depot.
Home Depot is all about making someone's house a home. And you're all making homes for, what, 15,000 veterans?
Yes, 15,000 veterans. And so we have what's called Team Depot. And so Team Depot is volunteers across the country. So volunteers from stores, volunteers from distribution centers, from our store support center. And we will go to a VFW, we'll go to a veteran's house who, let's say, lost their legs at war. And we'll go and help them. We'll put ramps, we'll fix their house up for them. Home Depot does a lot for their employees. And we have something that's called the Home Depot Foundation that constantly gives back to the employees, constantly gives back to veterans who work for us, veterans who don't work for us. We've given $83 million in the last few years to help veterans with their housing.
Eric, tell me a little bit more about your military appreciation group.
Sure, we have associate resource groups, and one of those is our military appreciation group that we call MAG. It has almost 700 members, and they focus specifically on veterans and active servicemen and women, whether they work for the Home Depot here in Atlanta or when they come home. So they greet them at the airport and welcome them. They get the entire organization here at our store support center to help create care packages and send them overseas to where the veterans are and the active military are serving. And then they also have mentorships. And so what they do is they mentor current servicemen and women who are trying to transition out of the military, and they help them, giving them ideas and tips and tricks about transitioning to the civilian workforce, or when it comes to education, or other things that might be personal.
So for vets interested in jobs here at Home Depot, where can they go?
Well, there's a few places. First is our main place, which is careers.homedepot.com/military. We have a very specific page dedicated to the military. But then secondly, we do over 100 military career fairs across the country, and we also go to bases.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us here on Hiring
Thank you very
America.
much. I appreciate it.